So we're staring at each other. He says, I want you to know that I was once an SS trooper.
Wow.
And I killed many GIs. Sometimes I had to kill them behind lines with a garrote. What say you?
Hello, everyone. Hola, mis amigos. You're listening to Oh My God, Hi, Hijo de Dios. Hola. With me, George Lopez. Porque, ¿sabes qué? Let's do the show. Porque I got a lot of things to do. I gotta go to that dry cleaner ahí. My kid fell. Se pegó la cabeza. I gotta go get some Neosporin Paul.
You know what George is?
Oh, I'm sure he's around here somewhere.
What's his name? George?
Lopez.
George Lopez.
Oh my God!
OMG.
OMG! Hi!
Oh my God, hi!
Didn't have freshman ball. They had varsity, B's and C's.
Right.
And so I'm trying for the B team. And I'm a freshman, and I was the last guy they cut from the team. And the coach just pulled me aside. He says, hey, I got to tell you, son. He says, you're good. I was a catcher. He says, you got good defensive skills. He says, and you can hit. He said, but I'm building my team on speed. He says, the speed you don't have.
Wow.
He says,
Wow.
he says, I'm sorry, but we're going to have to cut you. And I was the last guy to get cut from the team, and I never played organized ball again.
Shit. That's crazy.
And now you got a signed Dodgers hat.
Hey, a good buddy of mine, because I played softball for years, and my wife, if there was a problem, she just said, hey, I was playing ball 3 times a week. And she says, can you cut down to 2 at least? So one of the guys I played with, the guy reminded me of Mookie Betts, black guy.
Yep.
And my son was a ring bearer in his wedding. He married to a Latina. And I was telling him, yeah, the doctor said, I'd never run. I used to wear those braces and fucked up shoes.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, he said, your doctor was right. You never have been able to run, motherfucker.
Wow. I know. Where does speed come from? The abdominal area? If I was
I don't know. Nowhere.
I didn't have that.
I could never find it.
Somewhere I am not in touch with. Yeah, that's right.
I was never. I was good with the glove. I've got a good arm, but running, no buenos. All right, dude. What's going on?
We're
What
back.
else? We're back.
This is part 2.
This is part 2.
No, you can. I mean, you can if you like them. You don't have to.
What do you have?
We
other
can.
stories?
If you guys want, we can jump right back into the voicemails. Keep that.
How
rhythm
far
going.
I always wanted to play at college. College of the Canyons over there in Santa Clara.
Mm-hmm.
When I usually have envisioned things and kind of things have come true, which is rare. I think I see things, and when I was playing Little League in San Fernando, 73, 76, that I saw myself going and playing baseball at College of the Canyons. Unfortunately, I wasn't the third baseman for Kennedy High School because that's what he did. Just missed it by one school. But in my head, I thought, I'm pretty good with my glove, hitting pretty good, playing pretty good in Little League. And if I said, come out of high school, I played third base, San Fernando, and then I thought, wow, College of the Canyons, it's not UCLA, it's not Notre Dame.
I never saw myself going that good. When I got out of the Army, I wanted to play football. And I went and talked to one of the coaches over at the college. I was going to Rio Hondo. And I said, I'm a different guy. I'm mature. I want to do this now. And he said, okay. So I told my dad. My dad said, hey, you're not going to be a pro football player. Get a job. And we talked about it. And finally, the last thing he told me, he said, okay, they're hiring at Ford Motor. My friend told me they're hiring at Ford Motor Company. He says, go down there, apply. He says, if they don't take you, go play college ball. I don't, but this is the last thing. So they hired me. And had I been playing college ball, I never would have had time to
You never would have
date
gotten
my
over?
girl.
Yeah.
I never would have gotten married.
Yeah.
And but it's okay. Life turned out good.
It's crazy how that, like Sliding Doors. Is that what the movie Sliding Doors?
Yeah.
Right.
You're like butterfly effect or whatever. Like the littlest things end up having the craziest effect down the line.
When in 88, I was working in Las Vegas at the Playboy Girls of Rock and Roll. My grandfather just died, and these girls that were singers in the band said, "We're gonna go to the Riviera because there's this director." This fucking doggy.
I don't know if you saw she unplugged the sign, the ATC sign back here a second ago. Right here.
Can you put a dog to sleep before he's a year old?
Whoa.
Sometimes they do.
Now, if we're talking about
Maybe
hateful
make it look like an
comments.
accident. He's still eating the. Hey, come on. Hey,
That's tape, bro.
come on.
What are you doing? It's like he doesn't know what tape is.
What was I saying? I forgot.
Oh, 88, hard rock, rock and roll.
Rock and roll, the girl's new director over at the Riviera.
Oh, so So see, we met these guys, working on this movie. One guy's the director at the Riviera. We were at the Maxim. So I wasn't gonna go. It was after the show. It's like probably like 12:30 in the morning, and I went and I met this dude, Rich Correll. He was on Leave It to Beaver as a kid. Like I forget what kid he was. Richard. He was Richard on Leave It to Beaver. So his brother worked in the industry, and then he was directing this movie called Ski Patrol. And I went over there, and he saw me, and we talked. And I said, I ski, and he started laughing. And I got a part in that movie. And if I hadn't have gone with those girls, I never would have met the dude that did Ski Patrol in '89. He got me into the union. I was on a movie set. It came out. It didn't do well, but it's always been out. And it's like that. If my instincts were, I never wanted to go anywhere. And then after the show, I went because I must have felt instinctually to go. And then you see this guy and these girls are off with some other dudes, and me and him are talking, and boom. That one thing like changed everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
That's great.
That's what Cheech told me. You get one thing, and then you get everything off the one thing.
I love it. You guys can do some voicemails here.
That's
Throw
why
on
you
the
fuck- that's
cans.
why you-
We'll dip right into the advice. All right.
Orale, Sniper 1, come in. Fucking Gil, we're down already. The helicopter's down.
Hey, Sabretooth.
Sabretooth 1, come in. Gilly.
How do you get this thing to turn around? Oh,
There we go.
okay.
He must be an earbud guy.
Okay,
Yeah.
here we go, Devil Dog Leader. I'm back in flight.
All right.
All right, let's hear some bullshit over here.
All right, some more questions.
Hey, George, it's Terry from Texas. I have a question. Why is it that every guy I meet, I'm 48, divorced, have my house and my kids, whatever, set life. Every guy I
Not
meet
whatever,
wants me
fucking
to
kids.
take care of them, like I'm their mother or something. Is it just me, or is it something I'm putting out? Okay, thanks. Love you. Bye.
Okay, that is a great question on a lot of levels, man. Lee Trevino, who I love, my idol, like my uncle, my father, he calls his wife mom, and I don't think she calls him dad, or I don't know. I just think, and sometimes in relationships they go, "Mother, I'm home."
Yeah, totally.
Not where I was.
My wife calls me Papa, and I
Okay.
call her Nana now. So we just
That's a little. That's like that shit on Netflix where the people dress up like little animals. Which one is that one? Sexy as fuck, or what's that name of that show? It just came out.
What's it called?
Sexy
What people?
as
Oh,
fuck.
it's like animal
Sexy
love
Beast.
Sexy
Yeah.
Beast. Yes. Have you heard about this?
no.
Okay. I
I'm
mean,
the
so-
last
so I'm
sexy
looking
beast
it
in
up.
the
You
But
tell
world.
me
listen,
all
man,
about
like
it,
you
yeah.
would dress up with like a bear. What animal would he be? Like a prosthetic, like a bear prosthetic.
I'm like a
A
big
penguin,
lion
Like
vibe.
a
hippopotamus.
a penguin, a little penguin, like a little baby kangaroo. You could probably dress him up. You could
That's hilarious. Okay, so I found the description. So
you
most
could probably
people,
pass as that little kangaroo.
So most people would want to look their best when meeting potential dates for the first time, because there's nothing like love at first sight, right? Not for the people participating on Sexy Beasts, who seem to be more concerned with personality than how a potential mate looks. The dates are all transformed into animals and other creatures through the use of prosthetics and remain in costume throughout the dates. After the featured dater makes his or her selection, the costumes are finally removed.
fuck.
And it's at that point that
That's
the dater
brilliant.
gets to see if the choice they made based on personality matches up.
I've seen the
with
trailers.
looks.
In my day, you just
Yeah.
lied to her until she found out.
Yeah.
You don't wear fucking a rubber nose. I didn't know. You know what? I didn't realize it was that. I thought it was people that had fetishes that dress up like
furries.
fucking rabbits and shit that
I
and
saw
go
a
out.
trailer on it the other
That's-
day. It looks interesting.
That's a brilliant idea. Right? They're wearing prosthetics, almost like a masked singer.
Yeah,
Yes.
Masked Singer, but a little more disturbing.
And do they have sex? Like they make out with like a fucking rhinoceros and a fucking dove?
I don't know if they're able to do that, but they go on a date. At least they go try and hang out, and they do all sorts of stuff. You're looking like the creature from the Black Lagoon, or like something from like a Star Trek alien.
Which one would be yours?
Oh, I'd be a.
You'd probably be.
I'd be
Who
a
would he be?
Vulcan of some sort. I think.
No, he'd probably be
I'd be a baboon so I could scratch my nalgas.
like a red culo.
Yeah.
And me, I'd be a little fucking bird. Eh?
You got a big beak. They going for a kiss, and
Thanks.
you're just like poking them.
All right. Anyways,
So the 48-year-old, she's got to be looking good. Men are still after her. She's into nurturing her kids. She's used to nurturing men. That's what she knows. So what does,
But don't they always nurture you like they're trying to raise you again? Or is that just...
that's her motherly instincts.
Yeah.
And some people like that, and some people just take advantage. Guys just take advantage of that. So they have somebody that takes care of them. They don't have to put out that much.
Well, that's what you don't want. That's a good point. That's a great point. I think that's what you don't want is you don't want somebody that says that, and then like me, last week you never get out of the house. You don't want to work. They cook for you. They clean for you. Like that's way
It's
different.
just taking advantage of it. They're
Yeah.
just looking for something free.
Yes. So what would we say? Yeah. No.
So I mean, if she doesn't want men to treat her like a man, maybe has
Yeah,
to be a
so-
little less
so you're-
Different type of
or-
men.
Yeah.
Yeah, like exactly. So she already knows, she sees it, and she shouldn't, it's not her, that wouldn't be her instinct was to pursue it. So that one's the easy one. Fucking 10 minutes of going around there. Okay.
There we go. Next up.
Hey, what's up, George? This is Jonathan calling out here in the Midwest. I got a question. Want to know if there's any musicians or celebrities that you looked up to growing up and you met them later on and you were kind of let down, or it just wasn't what you expected, your whole life being a fan of them. Love to hear what you have to say. Love you, George. Big fan. Take it easy.
There you go. Celebrities or musicians you met who were not what you thought they would be. Maybe good, maybe bad. Yeah,
Well,
you opened it for both.
Shall we say this is kind of right in my alley. It's funny, man. If I look at my pictures, it's crazy who of the people that I met. Ted Nugent, we loved Ted Nugent back then. He's far right, like radically right, death threat right. I'm death threat left. But when I got that the Secret Service was going to come and talk to me at my house because of what I said, Ted Nugent was also investigated by the Secret Service, and he sent me a text going, if you need any tips on how to talk to the Secret Service, let me know. Good dude. So politically opposites, but still friends. And people, every time I post a picture, or if I did, I really don't, but I take all the guys I went to high school with, he treats them great. We've all been fans forever. And politics makes people think that because I like Ted Nugent for his music and his relationship, what I would consider a friend, 12 years, that this ideal of fucking, he's so far right that I should hate him, or and I don't do it like that. Politics they're separate.
Yeah.
They are very
Still did
separate.
Stranglehold. Cat Scratch Fever.
Come on, man.
Great White Buffalo.
Wangle Tangle.
And I've
What
never,
about you?
to me, I don't know many celebrities. I've met celebrities. Nobody's ever treated me bad. I've never struck up a friendship as much as with George.
Yeah.
George is a big time celebrity. And it's just great. And
That's true. No, it's awesome for me, man. It's like you have somebody, everybody my age is over there in Woodland Hills in the society home. Oh, actors.
Well, and maybe you don't want to put anyone on blast or
No,
anything,
fuck that.
But
You know
anyone
what?
you did meet who was really
Ringo Starr, I was at the opening of the Hard Rock Cafe on Hollywood Boulevard. A lot of people were there. And Ringo was in this VIP area right next to me, and I asked him if I could have a picture, and he said no. And this is right. I mean, people take a picture of me. I rarely say no, but I get it. He's a fucking Beatle. Like, everybody must,
Eric Estrada told you no one time.
fuck that. Yeah.
that one's the
I'll take a fucking picture right there.
Exactly.
I'll take a picture of that one. It chips on my pelos.
What do we got?
What is she eating now?
A wristband.
You're definitely gonna want that.
I think there was
Is that your wristband?
No.
It's the ground wristband.
Here, let's see if she stays in.
Come on, puppy.
Stitch. I don't know. All right. That's pretty good.
We got it.
Those are all pretty good questions, man.
Yeah, we've got a bunch more.
Well,
We've
listen,
got a little bit of
also, I would say this also, like, I don't think I'll be involved in any relationships between now and my demise, whenever that may be. But the signs are always there. Like, when you are with somebody and you make concessions for some behavior that otherwise maybe you wouldn't stand for. All right? And now all the weed in me is getting all leveled out. One of these, right?
There you go. Now we get the good advice.
Good.
Now we get the real.
But you know what I'm saying? It's like, and you see it. I think the toughest thing and I don't really see the cases where it's harder for a woman than a man. I think guys, can get dismissed. It hurts more than I believe that it might hurt a woman. I don't know. I'm not a woman, but I see them puteando the fuck every night. Every time they dress up shiny, they're looking for something. The fucking the big chill. So in that, like you see, like the problems that I had before I got married were the bigger problems I had after I got married. I mean, I wasn't anybody new. You just got kind of, blamed for an accelerated behavior where before,
Yeah.
But the signs are all on the wall. And you would see, like, you see something, you walk in and you go, okay, this person, person doing something. And you know already that you don't like it. And then you go in and then it doesn't work out.
Yeah. I mean, Lord knows I'm no expert, but I do know the problems that, like, you are working on and you think a relationship might fix.
Yeah.
The relationship will not fix them. They will just get amplified because now there's another person involved.
That's right. And having a baby? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, that's how you save the marriage. All right. You guys want to do a couple more?
Let's do them.
Yeah, come on. Hey, can I play Mayan's message? This might be a
yeah. If you got
nobody,
it, hold up to the
nobody
mic
knows
so
what
you
this is.
Okay, so I just saw your TikTok. Oh my god. Fucking hilarious. It's doing really well, which I think is showing us, at least that's how I'm interpreting it, that we really need to step up our TikTok game, especially since it's going to be a huge part of the show. I just read the pilot. I thought it was really good. I don't know what you think.
Fucking kids. Oh my God.
that
Can
the
you
end?
believe hey, can you believe that this fucking kid, man, was like 5 years old when my show started? And she's in this show with me. Like, we have a deal with NBC. And she's like, I just read the pilot. I don't know. I think it's okay. Like, fucking come on, man.
Have you talked about the show on air before?
No.
I don't know. Do you want to tell the people a little bit?
No, not right now. I'd rather tell people when I'm not .009.
Fair enough. Fair enough. What was the TikTok in question, by the way? She said she saw the TikTok. She was calling in response to a TikTok.
All right. Well, she did a TikTok, I guess, of somebody that she met and says, like, this person is not like my dad, which is fucking got you. And then I did my retort. Let me see.
One of my daughters told me one time, I find the reason that I'm having trouble finding the right guy to meet my expectations is because I keep measuring them up to my dad.
I think that's another
hear.
thing too. That's an issue. That's a daddy issue, but you want somebody to be of the integrity of that. That's
More
all.
of like a daddy standard than a daddy
Yeah.
issue.
Well, no, the integrity. But
That's what it was.
That's because I mean, somebody that's younger. You look at somebody that's have 20 years or more of experience, and you go, okay, he lived a great life, respectful, did what he did. But you tell somebody who's like in their early 20s, like, well, he's lived more than I have. She did this one here. I waved the condom in front of her. Because she's like, when nothing about him reminds me of my dad.
And she's going crazy. She's dancing like
That's
that. Man.
fucking gosh showing. Man, these kids. If I try to take her back to 14713 Hager, I don't think she makes it out of the fucking morning dew. The morning dew would still be on the grass and she'd be running home.
That's it. That's the reality. I look at some of these things now, they wouldn't last.
Man, that day, my grandfather got up at like fucking 4:45, 5 o'clock in the morning, turned every light on, made every fucking sound and noise. He didn't give a fuck that I was sleeping right, 5 feet away or that I had to go to school. Nothing. They start the car right by the fucking window. They don't roll it back or be considerate. And fucking we all turned out all right.
I told the former sheriff of L.A. County, Lee Baca, he had just been elected the sheriff. He hadn't even taken the oath of office yet. And I was master of ceremonies at the dinner he was at. And he got up there and he told a story about how when he was a kid in his East L.A., Lincoln Heights, where he was from, neighborhood, how he can remember back the music back then, Spade Cooley, Skip to My Lou. And he walked away after, and I had the microphone again. I said, I got to be honest with you, Sheriff. You'd have played that shit in my neighborhood, we'd have stolen your lunch money.
Yeah.
It was a different time.
Yeah. Wait a minute, he's not like our age.
He's a little older than us.
Is he still locked up?
Yeah, any time now he's getting out. He's due to get out.
You're like when you were in the military, you were in the Army.
Yes.
And then when you're in the sheriffs, you're 100% in the sheriffs.
100%.
You don't. If anybody were to badmouth the military, it would be like badmouthing your service, right? Which I.
Oh yeah. But
anybody, no, but I mean,
sure.
Because there is a lot of people don't talk about what families go through when one of the young kids is like male or female is defending the country, and and that we're safe every day, pretty much. I mean, our problem isn't coming from other countries. The problem is coming from within our own country with the shootings and all that stuff. But when I went to Walter Reed to go see the soldiers that were sick in 2004.
God bless you.
I went every time I went to Washington D.C. and my book had come out, and I went over and signed books, and there was a lot of them there, and one of the stories was there was this girl in the shorts and the Army T-shirt, and she is walking across like a lit bridge, and from one building to the other, and she's very attractive. She's probably in her early 20s, and she's walking kind of. She got hit with a shot grenade, and it fucked with her spine. Wow. So she walks like this, and we saw her, and she was coming to visit somebody that she didn't know because he had been injured, and he was in there. I mean, he got blown up, man. They taped the hand, and that she knew that nobody was going to see this guy, and she was going to see him and spend time with him because she knew that he'd be alone otherwise. And I mean, that is something that I don't think people do that.
God bless them.
I don't think a girl like that she was injured in combat. The fucking shot grenade fucks with all your nerves, right? It makes you, nervous system.
Yeah, anything can mess up your spine too. It can mess up everything.
And walking across that thing and going over and the things that people sacrifice so that you and I can enjoy that, but it should never be lost on anybody, even people that mean harm, that you wouldn't be able to do what you did are doing in another country. They cut your fucking hands off, an eye for an eye. You're done. Fucking McAfee died in a Spanish prison,
the Catalan prison.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They were going to extradite him. They probably beat the fuck out of that dude before he got extradited. You're not going to.
It's a different world when you're outside.
It's a different world out there. When I saw Midnight Express, what the fuck?
I've been there, seen it, done it. It's the different people don't realize how good they have it.
They really kind of they don't realize how you're free to be whatever you want to be. Pretty much. I mean, there's people that aren't going to ever accept people for who they really are, but you don't worry about it, like social media. But there's so much shit going on that's about color. When you think fucking 5 years ago we had riots in LA, it's almost the same shit in another cycle, man. I thought when I was starting at 18 doing stand-up, and by the time I got to be 60, I wouldn't have to worry about getting the fucking Secret Service to visit me at my house because I said something that was a joke and not,
when you try to tell people that are haters,
to get all of us.
When you tell the people that are haters about the problems, how good they have it, and you tell them what you've really seen, they don't believe you anyway. Oh, are you serious? Did that really happen? Are you going to try and convince me that that's the way it really was? They have no idea. So I don't. I think don't address them. I don't talk to them.
I think the worst thing is the imagination. It's like when you like a girl and you don't see her anymore, and you see a picture where you already see her blowing like 3 dudes at the fucking lamplighter right there on Magnolia. You know what I mean? Like your mind takes over stuff that you shouldn't.
Yeah, no.
Not you, because you've been married for 50 years, but me or Grant too.
I mean, with anything too, it's like the more unknown there is, the easier it is for your mind to go crazy and just kind of picture all the worst cases. The Buddhists say replace a bad thought with a good thought.
Probably one of the best conversations I ever had was when I was in Germany, and I met a guy named Herr Fosterling, and Herr Fosterling was the owner of a restaurant on the bottom, and it was a disco on top. It was the only one in the little town, smallest town in Germany, legal-sized town, in a little place called.
What year was that?
That would have been 1970. And I was one of maybe 4 to 5 GIs that would go to this small town because everybody went to Würzburg where all the whores and the bars and everything was. So I used to go over here. A guy introduced me to this place, and I liked it. Very friendly people. And he came over through an interpreter, and he wanted to sit right in front of me, just like you are right now in front of me. And the interpreter's to my left, and she says, Herr Fosterling would like to talk to you. And I said, okay. So we're staring at each other. He says, I want you to know that I was once an SS trooper.
Wow.
And I killed many GIs. Sometimes I had to kill them behind lines with a garrote. What say you? And I looked at him, never taking my eyes off him. I said, I just came back from Vietnam, where I had to kill Vietnamese people. And Vietnamese people tried to kill me. I don't hate all Vietnamese people, and I hope that all Vietnamese people don't hate me. War is hell, and there are no winners. Nobody wins. You did what you thought was right for your country, as I did what I thought was right for my country. And that's what happened, and that's the way life is. And he just said, Das ist gut, mein Freund, das ist gut, mein Freund. Next thing I know, he's standing up, stops the music, and the interpreter says, oh my God, Gil, you must stand. So I stand up next to him, and he announces to everybody in this guest house, in this disco, that I'm his friend. And if anybody doesn't like it, come up one at a time, everybody at once. We'll fight them all. Wow. And fortunately, they all started clapping, and then he bought a round of drinks for everybody in the house. And come to find out, his daughter was married to a lieutenant in the United States Army. He had never been allowed to step inside Herr Fosterling's house. He says he knows not what combat is about. He's young. He's naive. He doesn't know. He's no good. Wow. You, mein Freund. Oh, man. This guy gave me rides. He was like giving me the key to the city. I could do no wrong in that place anymore. Wow. And so it was just a conversation between myself and a former combatant.
That dude was SS,
I got chills.
He's SS.
That was incredible.
Yeah. So, Herr Fosterling's probably dead now.
I'm going to go ahead and say that I don't think I've ever heard a story quite compelling as that in my life.
No. Dude, that is nuts.
I wouldn't even tell you about any of the other things. I already got in trouble for the third grade kiss.
Yeah.
That wasn't with me. That wasn't with me though. But the fact that there were thousands of SS, right? So, I mean, I think documentaries, they don't show the numbers of that, but a lot of those dudes, they got. I think that America alleged might have brought a lot of people from Germany, engineers and stuff, to the United States.
Definitely scientists.
I don't know if they did. A lot of them got away with it. He had a slew of American cars.
Wow.
That he had in his property.
Yeah.
And so he was probably no good in his day, but it was during the war, and that's what he did, and that's what was going on.
Man, that's a trip, huh? Isn't that a trip? Like the dude. And you answered the question.
Sure.
Honestly, he knew that you weren't bullshitting him.
Yeah.
He knew that wasn't bullshit.
He said, what say you? And I said, well, here it is. Because I was really, everything's going through my heart. I said, well, this guy's getting ready to whack me or, something else. But he was like the big chingon on campus there.
Fuck, man.
And everybody bowed to him. And so once he gave me the key to the city, that was it. I could do no wrong.
That was it. Beautiful. That's crazy, huh?
Yeah. Did you feel like that was your thought? Had you ever put it in those words or those terms before, or did you had you articulated that to someone else or even to yourself, or was it kind of like, okay, now I'm being asked this question in this intense circumstance, and that's when you came to...
Nobody had ever asked me. I never thought about it, but in thinking about when he said, what say you, I had to think about what war really meant to me, and it's the very truth. They're guys that are fighting in Afghanistan. When they come back, they're bitter, they're angry, but I hope they don't hate all Afghani people, and I hope all Afghani people don't hate him. I just got a letter, a message today from a lady from Turkey that said, I'm from Turkey. Have you heard about Turkey? What do you think? And so I don't know that much about Turkey other than they're in a lot of turmoil. So all I could say without taking, because I don't know what side she's on with this, that, I said, all I can say is I don't know that much about your country. And I pray that you are safe and healthy and you continue with a good life. And then I'll hear her, now she's got She's got a time ticker waiting on.
Watch out, fucking Dr. Phil over here.
Yeah, I was no wonder your daughter's having trouble. Look at these
Hey,
answers. This is beautiful.
Let me start your car for you when we get out of here because, you never know.
Oh my goodness. Well, can I ask a voicemail question? I have a question of my own, sort of based on something you guys said earlier. I mean, talking a little bit about whether it's the younger generation or raising kids or whatnot, but like,
And everybody thinks that makes you seem like you're ancient. It just makes you seem like you're wise. People used to have fucking wisdom, and now they're like, fuck him. He thinks he knows everything.
yeah, if I can't put it in a tweet,
Come on,
is
man.
it wise?
But anyways, if somebody's older that's giving you advice that you've seen, I would think, somebody would want to take it.
Sure.
I mean, somebody gave me some advice in the early 90s, and he said, hey, man, there's nothing about your act tells me anything about you. I changed it up, and, everything changed.
Yeah. But to sort of like connect the dots, like what I'm thinking is, and I hear this a lot among people who've achieved success, whether in Hollywood or any sort of realm of life, like you have, Gil. You probably, a lot of us have struggles growing up, things we never want to repeat, but things that sort of made us the way we are.
Yep.
And I think for our kids, I imagine we all sort of want the best for our kids, and we want them to, on one level, not have those struggles. But at the same time, like, those struggles made you guys, for example, who you are. So how did you, what are your thoughts on that? How did you contend with that when raising a family, all that sort of stuff?
I don't want my kids to go through the struggles, but I don't want my kids to think that life is easy. My daughter received a ticket. So I knew she'd received a ticket. It was at a Pomona court. So I asked her one day, I said, hey, did you take care of that ticket? She says, yes. I said, well, what's this right here? And it was on top. I said, you haven't taken care of this yet. I said, come on, let's go. Put her in the car. We went down to Pomona court. I said, you wait out here. I went back because I knew everybody at Pomona court. I went to one of the clerks back there. I said, hey, look this ticket up. He looked it up. He said, well, Gil, it's not here. I don't know what's going on. I said, well, let me check this stack. He says, oh, you're lucky. It was going to warrant today.
Oh, my God.
He says, okay, you want me to get he says, you want to bring your daughter back? We'll just take care of it right now. Or do you want me to get a continuance on it? I said, get a continuance. He says, sure, if she's here, she can pay her to do it. I said, no, get a continuance. So she got a continuance. I said, okay, let's go. Went outside, told my daughter, let's go. She says, what happened? I said, well, your ticket was going to warrant. She says, well, did you take care of it, or can I take care of it right now? I said, no. I said, you're going to come back on your own, and you're going to stand in line like everybody else. And you're going to take care of your own ticket, not with me. So I made her learn the process. No, I'm not here to coddle you. Maybe you'll think a little wiser next time. Be careful. So that's what I did. And I've tried to, my kids knew, all of them knew, don't drop the Gil Carrillo card.
Right.
Just do what you got to do. You messed up, you pay for yours. And if I ever would have gotten caught for anything I've done, I've done it. I admit it. I'm not going to fight it. Not technicality, not this, not. I did it. Okay, I'll take my punishment. Fortunately, I didn't get caught.
No, but I think it's tough to have somebody like to not do it for her because, people would expect that. Did she go to the bathroom right there?
She might have.
No, that was me.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah. So I think that if you're able to help, they would expect the help, but it's also probably better and difficult to let them do something on their own because you kind of fucking almost feel like you want to do everything for them.
Yeah.
Right or not?
They've got to do it on their own. They've got to learn.
Or else, all right.
Well, what was
true,
your
man.
experience with that sort of thing, George? Like, has that been...
What's that for?
Helping out your kids.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I mean, that's I didn't have my father. My father, I guess, would have, the stories he left when I was 2 months. So when mine was 2 months, I looked at her and I thought, she's just on the crib, and I thought, how could somebody leave, man?
How could you bounce on this?
On this, like right here. And I just think it's all been kind of tough. So somebody that always walks, all the people in the summer that you would see that would walk barefoot, and you're like, man, I can't walk barefooted 10 feet. And there's people that it builds up that tough skin. Mm-hmm. And I think, naturally by section of life, elementary school, junior high school, doing stand-up and working during the day, like it's all been compartmentalized. So it doesn't really kind of, you can't feel what was in my 20s now, probably because of all kind of been blocked out.
Yeah.
It worked in one degree.
I do help them out if they have trouble. If I can see they're having trouble financially, and I help them out. I've never taken rent from them when they stay with me. They give me money, and for a while I just put it in an envelope. When they're time to leave, all that money you gave me, here it is. They don't take money from them and help them out financially if I can.
Fuck, what's that fucking Petticoat Junction? Okay.
All right. Total.
Remember that one?
five-
Remember that
five
show,
shit.
Petticoat Junction?
Yeah. The old man in the locomotive.
Fucking Joe. Bap. All right.
All right. Total vibe shift. You want to go back to the voicemails?
All right.
We got some lighthearted ones here. Here we go.
Yeah, how about some fucking lighthearted
Make
ones? That's what I was
sure.
thinking.
Yeah.
How about
We got real.
how about some lighthearted ones?
All right. Here we go.
Oh my God! Hi, hey George. My name is Kevin. I love the show. I watch it every night after work. And my question to you is, how was it working with? I believe her name is Benita Moreno, or AKA your mom on the show. Because every time you would disrespect her, like calling her an old bat, or like just stuff like that, those were the best moments for me. So yeah, my question to you is, how was it working with her? How would you guys break when you're disrespecting her because it was like too funny or etc. And
He sort of goes on.
What
from
that
there.
fucking variety? Yeah. It's almost 20 years that my show started. 2022 March, end of March 2022. 20 years.
Wow.
So that lady Belita that played my grandmother went to lunch with my grandmother. And then she said, "Oh, your grandma was talking to me about how proud she is of you, how much she loves you." I thought, "What the fuck? How come she never tells me?" Right? Didn't you say your dad told everybody? I don't know what the fuck that is. Like, how do you say, "Oh, my grandson is, he's got his own show on ABC and this and that," and then when I was with her, she'd be like, "Oh, if I'd have known it was going to take this long, I fucking wouldn't have come over here." You're like, how is that? I guess in their upbringing, I guess, right? When nothing's
I
ever
don't know.
good, how do you tell somebody that they did something good when you don't?
Yeah.
And I sat through a fucking recital at Cal State Northridge for fucking 12 hours one time. I was dying. We went over there when Mayan was a little dancer. You don't know what time she's going to dance, so fucking Ann has her there at 9 in the morning, and it goes till like 7 at night. And then Mayan didn't have to dance till like 5:15 in the afternoon. I'm there at fucking 9 a.m. I'm like, what the fuck?
You're not only are tired, you're hungry,
It was
you're
awful,
thirsty.
man. And every little fucking kid out there,
And they're not good.
They're not good.
they'd fucking run off. Like fucking little chickens. They probably just take off.
The one that
forget.
touched me the most, matter of fact, I gave him a standing ovation at this recital. There was one where all of a sudden they were surprised. There were about 10 dads that got up there and did a dance with their children.
Oh, wow.
So my hats were off to the dads because they had to be embarrassed. They had to work hard to get it because it was a choreographed dance. And it was nice. And when it was up, I was the first one up.
That's awesome.
Not for the kids, but for the fathers.
Yeah.
They deserved everything they
Yeah.
got.
Oh, that's great.
They'll make you do all that bullshit.
You know what? Let me say one thing about that damn recital.
You're trying to save it. Those were just my opinions. By the
No,
way.
this is
They were
one piece of shit. While I was inside the recital, my car was parked right out in front. Somebody decided they'd go by and look at the mirror. You know how mirrors rotate and move? So somebody went and moved it like to look at themselves, and they broke my mirror.
Oh, shit.
And so now we're looking probably pretty close to about a $700 bill. I'll take it to the dealer tomorrow.
Wow, on your car they turned that
Yeah.
thing? That's pretty well built. I don't want to say what
Yeah.
car. There's a pretty well built car to.
Yeah.
And they moved that way. It's not like when we were.
Yeah.
Oh, this is recent.
They turned.
Oh yeah, just happened
Oh, the
Saturday
other
night.
day. Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
And somebody did it just because they want to make sure their mascara was on right, or their whatever it was. They did it. They broke it, and then they just walked away from it. There's no scratches, no nothing. They just got it and they twisted it like those mirrors fold in and fold up.
Yeah, yeah.
And so
They popped it out. It snapped
just
off.
it won't go into lock position anymore. The motor won't move. I couldn't. It's useless. I borrowed my wife's car to come down here today.
That's I think that's going to be more than $700.
So
And we're talking about the like a motor in
Yeah,
there.
everything's done. I was really upset about it. I'm thinking $700, but I called up the insurance company. I got a $250 deductible. So.
But wouldn't they see it? Is there any cameras around there?
No.
Or the only cameras are inside the fucking recital where nobody pays attention.
This was legally parked on the street, right in front, in parking lanes, and
Man.
so I'll pay the $250.
Is it a woman or a man?
It's a woman. Men don't give a shit what they look like. It's easy.
All right, go ahead, Grant. Looking at your
right.
watch,
Oh,
motherfucker.
I buzzed. Nothing personal. Another lighthearted one. Here, question for George.
George, oh my God, hi. Pendejo, I've been trying to buy your beer all freaking week. I can't buy that shit nowhere, man. Where the hell do I get this shit? I tried ordering online. I can't get it nowhere.
And you
My
call
name's
George
John.
Pendejo?
You have a good day, brother. Always
That's
love
it.
listening to you.
That's his question. We're gonna get this beer.
His question is where to get the George
you
Lopez
gotta
beer.
come over here. I think you can order it online.
Don't they have it
They
at
can
Trader
all
Joe's? My daughter says, hey, I saw it. I said, buy it.
That's probably one of the employees drinking it.
Is
It's
it
doing
anywhere
really
out in
good.
the wild? I know it's at
It's
your
a Food
restaurant,
for Less.
correct?
I think
In-
it's at
Food for
Bryan.
Less. That's
Food
where
for
she
Less.
said she saw it.
Yeah, Food for Less.
There you go. So there's your answer. If you're not near a Food for Less, go check it out.
And also, I think you can order it online. I think people will send it to you online.
There you go. All right, let's do one more before we get out of here.
Oh my God, hi. Hey George, this is Dylan from Fresno, California. I just wanted to tell you that last episode, it creeped me the fuck out. But anyway, on a more positive note, I want to ask you, what's a crazy experience you had on psychedelics, whether it was mushrooms, acid? I just want to know, like, what did you see? What did you experience? Let me know. Thank you.
I don't think a lot of podcasts would get that question.
Yeah.
When I worked during the day in 1982, I worked at night. Like 81, 82, I did acid at lunch with this guy, Rich, that lived in Northridge.
Lunchtime acid.
And that guy and I used to work together. I forget his last name. He used to roller skate at Balboa Park, like in dolphin shorts. This is in the early 80s. You know, Wonder Woman and Bucket Threes Company, all that shit. So he would get chicks, and he was telling me that he was dating this Latina, and then I went to his apartment. He lived on like Reseda and all his apartments, and then the girl and her friend were over there, and then the girl he was dating said to her friend, "I'm just going out with him because he pays for everything, and he gives me money," in Spanish. So I told Rich, what I heard, and every time I've done that, I never talked to the guy again. He got pissed off because she convinced him that I was lying. And I've done it 3 times in my life, and I'm 0 for 3. The fucking dog I'm going to drop off at Heaven's Helper with that fucking dog thing. God, I don't know. Okay.
Gil, anything for you? Any psychedelic?
No,
not
drugs
him.
in my life.
We don't wanna get you in
Shit,
trouble.
I don't know. No drugs in my life.
But in Vietnam, I mean, man, it's even hard to talk about. That I don't think, was much of a fight in the city. No, right? I don't think those guys were out there.
Guys
did they move guys in and out by helicopter? If you were out there for like a week, they'd come in?
Yeah. Guys were moved in and out all the time, and the guys in the field used a lot of dope. When they were out there, they had nothing more to do, other than they had to be watchful of everybody.
Shit, man.
But, and I just found out that one of my pilot, not my pilot, but I found out one of the pilots that flew in my group was an alcoholic, and I didn't know that. And if I'd have known, and I never flew with him, but I wouldn't have flown with him if I'd have known he was loaded, because you need 2 people up there.
No, I know, man. Yeah. I mean, that's
and so we didn't. And in the back, no drugs, no.
And how about this? How about that helicopter's not even really that high off the ground, and at times they were as close to fucking hand-to-hand combat.
Sure, we were close. Sometimes you landed in the boonies. You're fighting. You're shooting. It was fun.
To see that stuff,
It's crazy.
Yeah, that's all right. What was the question again?
There you go. That was asking about crazy psychedelic experiences.
Oh yeah, that was, I think, acid. What was that? The shrooms? That was shrooms. No, that was acid.
Was that LSD you said that you did for that one?
That was acid, and then I did shrooms one time, And we were in the car, we just, laughing with all the fucking windows are rolled up, of course. Fucking dying in there breathing. And then we go in the house, and there was a Bugs Bunny picture, I think that, like, it was Peter Lorre's head, but it was like 5 times bigger than the regular head. Remember that cartoon with Peter Lorre? I wish I wish I had a rap, something like that. And then I walked in, and there was a dude that had an oversized head on the couch. And I said, I wish I had a rabbit. And all the dudes started laughing.
Shit, I just remember you seeing the Chinese people walking down the street.
Every time I'm out of my mind, I always see the funniest shit. But
and do you have enough mushrooms where you were getting like real crazy hallucinations, or you're just having a really good time?
When I was working at night, the clock melted and all that bullshit that people would walk by and there'd be like a blur behind them.
That's good.
Better him than me, brother.
Man, that's awesome, man. And I worked the middle of the night. I'd get out of there like probably 6:15 or something.
Damn.
Fucking who pays somebody to do acid people in Northridge, California? What else?
That does
that
it.
That's
Let's keep leaving voicemails. We love getting to do these on the show. Ask questions. Again, also if you leave your number in the voicemail, we can't air it just for so Tracy, don't leave your number. It shows up on the info, whatever. So keep leaving his voicemails though. The number's on screen if you want to read it, George.
Gil.
818-533-1843 on your radio dial. Give us a call. Tell it all. Listen, I've got this before you go.
KNX.
It's been a great day for me. I have a Clayton Kershaw autographed baseball
military
cap,
hat. They do those on
signed
Memorial.
by Clayton himself from George Lopez. And I've got a picture up there with George, a drawing. That's just
Edward James almost in zoot suit
That's
and
badass.
stand and deliver over on the right.
That's badass.